I was having a conversation with a friend, and the person was telling me, Kai, Chidera, I've seen something that back then when he do ask his uncle for money, and if the uncle decline or refuses to give money, possibly because they don't have, that he was hitting on them. He was cursing them or thinking that they are bad uncles. They don't want to support him. They don't want to help him to become somebody in life. That now he's realizing that this life is 100% your responsibility. You don't have to push responsibility to your uncle or even to your parents. Nobody owes you anything in this life. You owe yourself everything. You owe yourself either to be successful or to be failure. You understand? He was telling me that, man, now he's understanding what his uncle saw. Back then, when he do ask his uncle for school fees and his uncle would say there's no money or he should give him more time, he should do this or he should do that. Same thing to the parents, that he was hitting on them. But now he's an uncle, he's a brother, he's everything all joined together. So people are now asking him for money. So he was like, man, it's not easy to be an uncle. I wish I can turn back the hands of clock so I can go apologize to my uncle for hitting on them unnecessarily. And most of them, back then when we were in school, most of them, they go different means of collecting money from their parents. Sometimes the school fees can be something like 60-something thousand. They will ask for, they will tell their parents that school fees is ×2 or ×3 of the money we are paying. They will collect the money, pocket it in their pockets. Some of them, they even collect the money, they don't pay. Some of them, they devise a means of extorting the money from their parents. Some go diabolic, some go by force, some go by different means of collecting the money. And I was telling them back then that whatever thing you do will definitely come back to you. Let me tell you today, whatever thing you are, if you are doing it, you better stop. Stop. Whatever thing you are doing now, stop it, because it will definitely come back to you. You will one day be an uncle. You will one day be a parent. And those things you are doing now, you know it's not good. If your children do it to you or your niece do it to you, you're not going to like it. So why are you doing it to your parents or your uncle? Why? Do you know you don't have to blame your mother? You don't have to blame your father for not giving you the money they have, because they have their own life to live. You have your own to live. You understand? You don't have any point to blame them. If they give you, thanks. If they don't give you, fine. Be fine with everything that happens, because you have your life to live. Very soon, you're going to see what your uncles see. Very soon, you're going to see what your parents see. And I think this is what my friend is seeing right now. And that is why he feel like, man, now I understand though. There's no point hitting on uncles. Back then when I was hitting on my uncles, my uncle don't used to pay my school fees. My uncle don't used to give me money. I was like, man, you don't have to, hate on anybody. Now you see, if people start hitting on you, if your little niece start hitting on you now because you're not giving them money, what are you going to do? You have nothing to do, and you owe no explanation, because they won't understand. You're still struggling with life. Back then, the uncle you were hitting on for not giving you money may be struggling with life, and you don't know. And there's no how you explain to you. You feel like he have it and he doesn't want to give you. So this life itself is 100% your responsibility, and live life however means necessary. Man, I just want to tell you today, because back then I was telling him that, listen, this life is 100% your responsibility. I grew up in a home where, would I say I'm the first son? I have nobody I can run to ask for anything. No uncle to run to that can actually support me financially or something like that. So I grew up to understand that this life is my responsibility. To be successful, I have to push myself at that point to be successful. So I wasn't expecting anything from anybody. Back then when I was telling him, he was thinking I'm joking or something like that. So now he's realizing it, and he came back to me to tell me actually what I told him back then is the right thing. So I just want to say it to one or two people out there who can still listen to what I'm saying. This life is 100% your responsibility. Nobody owes you anything, not even your parents. Nobody. If they do for you, be thankful. If they don't do, still be thankful. Push yourself to the apex. Push yourself to a point where you have to be successful by all means. Live the life by all means necessary to be successful.